Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news at 6 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi breaks protocol to receive Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Delhi summit meeting on Saturday to focus on strengthening bilateral ties. Heated exchanges in Rajya Sabha. Opposition demands apology from Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi for remarks on Alwar mob lynching. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to make statement on Monday. Supreme Court seeks response from 6 states on petition seeking ban on cow vigilante groups. Notices to Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh to reply within 3 weeks. And US retaliates against chemical weapons attack in Syria. 6 people killed as warships fire a barrage of cruise missiles on airbase. Well, the alleged lynching of a man by a cow vigilante mob in Rajasthan resonated for the second day in the upper house on Friday. The opposition demanded an apology from Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi for his statements on the incident. The government told the House that the Home Minister Rajnath Singh will make a statement on Monday.
Opposition members in the upper house raised the incident of alleged cow vigilantism in Rajasthan's Alwar for the second day in a row during 0 hour. Leader of opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad demanded an apology from the MOS Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi for his statements on the incident. JDU's Sharad Yadav also condemned the attack.
थप्पड़ अगर एक दूसरे को कोई मारे तो उसकी रिमांड होती है 14 दिन के लिए और ये कत्ल के लिए रिमांड 1 दिन की होती है, तो उसका मतलब शुरू से ही नियत है इस केस को खत्म करने की। तो मेरा एक तो सरकार ये बता दे, हमारे माननीय मंत्री ने सदन को कल गुमराह किया है और आपने कल डायरेक्शन दी थी, आपका बहुत हम धन्यवाद करते हैं कि माननीय गृह मंत्री जी यहां आके स्टेटमेंट दे दे।
जो मंत्री जी ने कल बयान दिया था वो ऐसा बयान है कि मैं खुद सुनकर के हैरान था। एक नंबर 2 उस सदन में होम मिनिस्टर बोलते हैं और पूरी तरह से कहते हैं कि संज्ञान में है, अलवर में जो हुआ उस पर पूरी तरह से ताकत और शक्ति के साथ कार्रवाई होगी।
Naqvi clarified that his statement was in the context of states like Gujarat and UP. He also asserted that such incidents should not be viewed through the prism of religion.
FIR लॉन्च करके 6 लोगों को के खिलाफ की गई है, कानूनी प्रावधानों के तहत कार्रवाई हो रही है, क्योंकि हमने कल भी कहा था ये एक संवेदनशील मुद्दा है और संवेदनशील मुद्दा है। राजस्थान की सरकार जो कानूनी प्रावधान है उसके तहत कड़े कदम और कड़े कानूनी प्रावधानों के तहत कार्रवाई कर रही है। इसलिए ऐसे संवेदनशील मुद्दे को हम सबको संवेदनशीलता के साथ डील करना चाहिए।
On April 1st, a mob allegedly attacked dairy farmer Pelu Khan in Alwar on suspicion of cattle smuggling, who later succumbed to his injuries. The Rajasthan police arrested 3 people in Alwar and announced a cash reward of 5,000 rupees each for providing information about the remaining 6 suspects who were identified. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Supreme Court today sought responses from 6 states, including Rajasthan, on a plea seeking a ban on cow vigilante groups. Referring to the recent incident in Alwar, where a man was allegedly killed by a mob of cow protection group, the lawyers appearing in the case claimed that the ground situation in these states was a matter of concern. The plea alleged that atrocities against Dalits and minorities are on the rise in the name of protection of cows, and the vigilantes needed to be punished under the IPC provisions. The apex court also issued notices to Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh, asking them to file responses within 3 weeks. Next hearing in the case is scheduled for May 3rd. Well, the government informed the upper house on Friday that all farmers, including sharecroppers and tenant farmers growing the notified crops in the notified areas, are eligible for coverage under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. MOS Agriculture Parasottambai Rupala said that the sharecroppers can avail the benefits of the scheme after signing the MOU with the landlord farmer.
Addressing the issue of agrarian distress for tenant farmers during question hour, the government told the upper house that the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana has made provisions to provide them cover.
प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना में ये प्रावधान है, यदि वो किसान के साथ अपना MOU करके वो प्रीमियम भरेगा तो उसको भी प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना का कवर दिया जाएगा। और पंजाब में जो कि लागू ही नहीं किया है, नई सरकार स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को इसको नोटिफिकेशन करके लागू करना होता है, वो करेंगे तो इसका बेनिफिट इनको भी मिलेगा।
Responding to another supplementary, Agriculture Minister Radha Mohan Singh hoped that farmers in Punjab can also avail the benefits of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana if the state government notified it.
पंजाब के अंदर ये बीमा योजना आदि चलती रहती, उनका नुकसान का आंकड़ा आया होता तो हमने कितनी राशि दी इसका इसमें जिक्र होता।
Tenant farming covers more than 25% of agricultural activity in India. Tenant farmers assume an extraordinary amount of risk in return for extremely meager rewards and little access to government benefits. With tenant fees and debts mounting every year, hapless farmers are forced to commit suicide. Tenant farmers account for over 90% of suicides in the country. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, over to the zero-hour proceedings now, where members across party lines expressed grave concern over the plight of farmers in the upper house on Friday. The CPIM also raised concerns over misuse of sedition charges and the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Here's a report.
Raising the issue through a zero-hour mention, Reti Raman Singh sought the centre's intervention and demanded that farmers' loans, including those for tractors and term loans, be waived off. Members across the political spectrum supported the Samajwadi Party leader on the issue.
आज किसानों की हालत अगर सबसे बदतर है पूरे देश में तो किसानों की है। उसके लिए किसानों का सभी तरह का ऋण कर्जा माफ होना चाहिए, चाहे ट्रैक्टर का लोन हो, चाहे टर्म लोन हो, मियादी लोन हो, हर तरह का कर्जा किसानों का माफ होना चाहिए। इसलिए मानवर कि बड़े लोगों का 1,40,000 करोड़ रुपया पहले ही सरकार माफ कर चुकी है।
In another zero-hour mention, CPIM member Rita Prata Banerjee alleged misuse of sedition and anti-terror laws against human rights and political activists.
The judiciary in a number of cases while declaring life sentences has used very harsh words in cases where this UAPA was slapped. But there have been a series of actual terror cases where the judiciary has had no harsh words at all.
Meanwhile, Vivek Gupta of the TMC raised the issue of delay in issuance of passports, and Shwet Malik of the BJP commended the government's initiative to enhance road connectivity.
That almost 28 lakh passports are undelivered and there is no status shown in the dashboard of the ministry. Sir, another shocking is 62 lakh passports are showing as pending. Sir, 35% of police verification is taking more than 180 days.
ये है कि मैं आभारी हूं गडकरी जी का कि जिन्होंने दिल्ली से पानीपत के हाईवे को 8 लेन का जो दे दिया है प्रोजेक्ट पास किया है।
JDU's Ali Anwar Ansari also highlighted the plight of teachers, saying that Coal India was paying only 5,000 to 7,000 rupees to about 4,000 teachers and demanded a hike in their salaries. Alleged dilution of the RTI Act also found resonance in the upper house during zero hour. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, zero hour in the Lok Sabha today witnessed heated exchanges between the BJP and Congress and left members from Kerala. This after all three parties accused each other of instigating violence in the state.
The shocking incident of a student suicide in Thiruvananthapuram resounded in Lok Sabha for the second day on Friday. On Thursday, members of the Congress and the left from Kerala had clashed in the House over the incident and the ill treatment meted out to his family by the local police. BJP leader Poonam Mahajan went on to target what she called CPIM-sponsored terror in Kerala and demanded the dismissal of the left government.
ये जिष्णु की कहानी है, जिस प्रकार से उसके मां को तकलीफ दी वहां के सिंडिकेट ने, मैं तो कहती हूँ ये सीपीएम का स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिज्म केरला में हो रहा है और केरला में सिर्फ स्टूडेंट भी नहीं है, स्टूडेंट के साथ सारे कार्यकर्ता जो राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के कार्यकर्ता हो, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता हो, उन पे हर वक्त हमला किया जा रहा है.
While left MPs raised objections to Mahajan's remark, the Congress targeted the RSS, accusing the organization for targeting and killing party workers from the left and the Congress.
Day before yesterday night, in a temple festival in my constituency, one young boy has been killed by RSS. One young boy,
Madam Member and the Honorable Minister is misleading the House. What happened in Aleppo? No. What happened in Aleppo was a teenager was killed by RSS people. A teenager, 17-year-old +2 student was killed by RSS people. And in Kasaragod, a Muslim priest was killed by RSS people and police has arrested the culprits.
Refusing to let the allegations go by, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar said that it was ironic that the Congress was voicing concerns only against the RSS, since on Thursday, K.C. Venugopal of the Congress himself had raised the issue of alleged political killings in Kerala.
Why Venugopal is opposing it? You should be supporting. Venugopal should be supporting whatever Poonam Mahajanji is saying. Poonam Mahajanji has raised the situation in Kerala, and she has poured out her heart, and whatever happening in Kerala, whatever the political murders are happening because of the intolerance is not acceptable.
In response to the minister, the Congress and left claimed that he was misleading the House by mixing two issues and diverting the attention away from the allegations against the RSS. Ravinder Sheran's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, after resolving complicated land boundary agreement, India and Bangladesh are all set to enter a new phase of relationship. Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today arrived in New Delhi to decide on the direction of the partnership between the two nations. This will be the focus of the agenda of her bilateral summit with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday. Here are more details.
On a 4-day visit to India, Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina arrived in Delhi with a large business and official delegation. Breaking away from protocol, Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself received the visiting dignitary at the airport. On Saturday, Sheikh Hasina will hold a summit-level meeting with Modi to strengthen mutual relations between the two neighbors. Both leaders are also expected to review all agreements and decide roadmap for future cooperation. Ahead of this meeting, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj briefed her about the recent developments in India to maintain peace and tranquility in the neighborhood.
We are also involved in various upgradation projects in Bangladesh, in which the expertise of Indian companies is being put to good use. All in all, we believe that this is a very, very special visit, and we expect that this will take our partnership to just that one level higher.
More than 24 agreements and MOUs are expected to be signed between the two countries in the presence of the two prime ministers. The agreements will be in the fields of defense, security, cybersecurity, trade, transit, science and technology, IT, shipping and others.
This agreement provides a framework for the kind of engagement that we hope to continue to have with Bangladesh going forward, and also provides for defense R&D, defense supply, and so on and so forth. The second MOU is for more for the aspect of, again, making it possible for Bangladesh to source some of its defense-based equipment and supplies from India.
Modi and Sheikh Hasina will also take part in a ceremony to honor martyrs of the 1971 Bangladeshi Independence War. Hasina's itinerary includes a meeting with President Pranab Mukherjee, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari and other leaders. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will also be present in Delhi on the occasion.
After the summit-level talks, India and Bangladesh will announce a new bus and a new rail service between the two countries. India will also launch a pipeline that will provide Bangladesh high-speed diesel. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Vijay Kumar in Delhi.
Well, the Income Tax Department today conducted surveys at over 30 locations belonging to Tamil Nadu Health Minister C. Vidya Bhaskar. The search operation was carried out by over 100 IT officials in multiple locations, including Chennai and Pudukkottai, after a tip-off about alleged tax evasion by the minister and another MLA whose name was not disclosed. Vijaya Bhaskar was a key campaigner for the AIADMK's Sasikala faction's candidate Dinakaran, who is contesting a bypoll for the RK Nagar Assembly seat. Well, 3 soldiers were killed after multiple avalanches hit an army post at Jammu and Kashmir's Batalik sector on Thursday. 5 soldiers were originally trapped under the snow, out of which 2 of them were rescued alive. The other 3 could not be saved despite efforts, and their bodies were recovered on Friday morning. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday spoke to Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti and offered all possible support in dealing with the flood situation in the valley. Over 24 residents affected by flash floods have been rescued by the Indian Army. Rivers and streams have swelled due to incessant rains over the past few days, resulting in flash floods, leaving residents stranded in several parts of the state. Meanwhile, landslides and shooting stones led to the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway remaining closed for the 3rd consecutive day on Friday.
Raining is going on, but we hope that situation is controlled. In Srinagar city, the water is low because of the lack of drainage system. We are working on that. We have supplied some pumps and all that. Our police, our administration, they are on the job.
Well, here's a roundup of the other news from across the country and nationwide. Well, a major accident was averted at Delhi airport on Friday when 2 aircraft came close to each other. An Air India plane was about to take off while an Indigo plane was landing on the same runway. Authorities say both pilots followed standard operating procedure and their instincts to prevent a disaster. Air India today lifted the flight ban on Shiv Sena MP Ravindra Gaikwad. This comes after the airline received a letter from the Civil Aviation Ministry to do so. Gaikwad had written a regret letter to the Civil Aviation Minister yesterday over the unfortunate incident, but had refused to apologize to the national carrier for allegedly misbehaving with crew members. The Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama is in Tawang today along with Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu despite protests by China. The exiled Tibetan leader, who was to reach Tawang by chopper on April 4th, travelled by road from Guwahati due to bad weather. Security has been strengthened around the monastery while the city has been decorated with colourful prayer flags and flowers. A Delhi court is likely to take cognizance of the charge sheet filed against Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh in a disproportionate assets case. The matter was fixed for today as scrutiny of documents could not be completed on Thursday. The CBI had booked the accused on charges of abetment to crime and forgery under the IPC and the Prevention of Corruption Act. It's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to Indian Standard Time. I'm Siddharth Vardarajan and my guest today is Dr. Shahida Abdali, Ambassador of Afghanistan in Delhi.
Terrorism has been changing, its face, activities in Afghanistan, from Taliban to Al-Qaeda, and today we hear of Daesh. Osama bin Laden was not found in Afghanistan. US is an important partner for Afghanistan and for the region.
Watch Afghanistan's ambassador to India, Dr. Shahida Abdali, articulate his views in Indian Standard Time on Rajya Sabha television.
Well, the United States launched a massive strike on a Syrian airbase in retaliation to Tuesday's chemical weapons attack that killed over 70 people. The attacks mark a major shift in policy for the Trump government, which till now did not involve itself with the war in Syria. Russia has condemned the US attack on Syria, although the UK, Germany, Japan and many other nations backed the United States' action against Assad's alleged chemical attack. The United States fired a barrage of cruise missiles at a Syrian airbase, from which it said a deadly chemical weapons attack was launched on Tuesday, killing over 70 civilians, mostly children. This was the first direct US assault on the Bashar al-Assad government in its 6 years of civil war. At least 6 people were killed in the attack that marks a policy reversal for President Trump, who had once warned America to stay out of the conflict. Ordering the strikes, Trump said that he was acting in America's national security interest.
Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children. Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack. No child of God should ever suffer such horror. Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
On Friday, the USS Porter and USS Ross launched over 50 Tomahawk missiles at multiple targets on the Shairat Air Base, which the Pentagon says was used to store chemical weapons. An airstrip, aircraft and fuel stations were hit. Denying the US accusations of waging a chemical war, Syria called the attack blatant aggression and said that it made the United States a partner of terrorist groups.
نحن في سوريا أرسلنا إلى مجلس الأمن رسائل عديدة حول انتهاك طيران التحالف الدولي بقيادة الولايات المتحدة لحياة المدنيين السوريين.
The strike provoked an angry response from Russia that is backing the Assad regime against the rebel factions and the ISIS.
Соединенные Штаты Америки не первый раз демонстрируют подобный бездумный подход. Он лишь усугубляет имеющиеся в мире проблемы и создает угрозу международной безопасности. Само присутствие военнослужащих США и других стран на территории Сирии.
The strike came just hours after Trump's first meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. In the aftermath, China is pushing for a political settlement of the Syrian conflict.
你知道中方在国际关系当中向来是反对使用武力，主张要通过对话和平解决争端。我刚才也讲了，我们对当前叙利亚局势的发展感到担忧。我们始终主张叙利亚问题应该通过政治手段加以解决。
UK threw its weight behind the United States, saying it was consulted by the US before the strike. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe also backed the US strike.
Well, we fully support this strike. We've been in close contact with the American government over the last couple of days in preparation for this. The Americans believe they've exhausted all possible diplomatic and peaceful ways of dealing with the use by the regime of chemical weapons.
核兵器の拡散と使用は絶対に許さないとの米国政府の決意を日本政府は支持いたします。
Both Turkey and Germany also expressed their support for the Trump government, saying that the international community should take a stand against Syrian government's barbaric actions. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Well, US President Donald Trump met his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping for the first time at his Florida resort on Thursday. Trump said that the two leaders developed a friendship as they sat for dinner at his Mar-a-Lago retreat. Their wives were also in attendance at the dinner. Chinese President Xi Jinping said that he was ready to work with US President Donald Trump in pushing forward the China-US relations from a new starting point. Xi said he and President Trump had reached important consensus on the development of bilateral relations, with both pledging to expand pragmatic cooperation in trade and investment and other fields in a constructive way. Trump also appreciated the achievements that China made under the leadership of President Xi and said he and Xi have exchanged views on a wide range of topics and established a good friendship. The two leaders also exchanged views on international and regional issues of common concerns at the dinner.
Great honor to have the President of China and his incredibly talented wife, a great celebrity in China, a great singer. It's an honor to have you in the United States. We've had a long discussion already, and so far I have gotten nothing, absolutely nothing. But we have developed a friendship, I can see that, and I think long term we're going to have a very, very great relationship, and I look very much forward to it.
Well, here's a roundup of the other international news in Global Buzz. Israel has signed about $2 billion worth deal with India to supply advanced missile defense systems, bolstering bilateral military ties. Israel would also supply additional long-range air and missile defense systems for the first locally produced Indian aircraft carrier. These contracts are being developed as part of the Make in India policy. The U.S. State Department today declared a senior commander of the Palestinian militant group Hamas, Abu Anas al-Ghandour, a specially designated global terrorist. His name has been added to the economic sanctions blacklist. The State Department said Ghandour is a former Hamas Shura Council and political bureau member who now leads a Hamas brigade in Gaza. A roadside bomb exploded and killed at least 19 people in a minibus in Somalia's lower Shabelle region. 6 others have been injured. The massive bomb buried beside the road struck the vehicle and largely destroyed it. No group has claimed responsibility so far, but roadside bombs are commonly used by the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani met Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong in Singapore during his trip to the Asia-Pacific region. Both the leaders held a bilateral meeting and witnessed the signing of an MOU on technical cooperation between the two countries. Thailand's King Maha has signed a new constitution paving the way for an election. This would bring the country back to democratic rule. An original draft of the constitution was approved in a referendum last August. The interim government has pledged to hold the election by the end of this year. The military-led interim government has ruled the country since it seized power in a 2014 coup. Well, that's it on this newscast. Have a good evening.